All right, let's do this thing. Good morning to you on this Thursday morning. We like to call it Friday Eve around here. Checking in from the First Alert Desk, I'm Brooks Baptiste.
And I'm Lana Harris.
All right, so we've got some stories that we've got to talk about, things happening today, things you need to keep in mind happening in the future. Let's get right into them.
Okay, so the first story is rapper Young Dro. He is headlining a youth violence town hall today. Okay, so what he's doing is really trying to keep kids from becoming victims of gun violence. So children should obviously feel safe in our communities,
of course,
right? But they're becoming shooting victims, just doing daily activities within days of each other. We had a 17-year-old that was shot just taking out the trash. A 13-year-old was shot outside of a skating rink days later. In the past 2 years, Atlanta police say there have been 192 shootings, 28 of them homicides, and all of them involve victims under the age of 17.
And here's the thing, you know, Young Dro, being an Atlanta rapper, he will tell you candidly that he knows what gun violence is. And he said that he was actually shot at 15 years old and blamed the bad choices that he made as a kid, but he wants to use his voice as someone that the youth might actually listen to really tackle this issue, because we know how much that is needed right now.
Right, so Young Dro and South Fulton Mayor Khalid Kamau are now teaming up, and they're inviting everyone in the community to a youth town hall on gun violence. That is going to be tonight. There's going to be panel discussions. Kids can sign up for mentors. There's after school programs they can sign up for, internships. Really helpful. Now, the two teens we mentioned became gun violence victims as they were planning for this. So we talked to Young Dro earlier, and he was saying how that highlighted just how much what he was doing was necessary. So that event starts tonight. It's at the Southwest Arts Center on New Hope Road. Opportunity Fair starts at 5, Town Hall begins at 7, and as a bonus, Young Dro is performing his new single.
I didn't know that. Now I know about his, shoulder lean. That's the one that I like to go to. No, I'm not gonna do that right now.
Oh, okay.
But I will tell you guys, this morning we had the pleasure of having Young Dro on our sofa and on the air, and it was great hearing how committed he is to really putting an end to this, because we as anchors and reporters, we get tired of reporting going in. It's heartbreaking when we have to talk about so many deaths within our kids, and it's senseless gun violence. These are things that just should not be happening. Everybody deserves to grow old, and 13 is not old, 17 is not old, but that's something that we're seeing a lot more in this community. So when you have rappers who are using their influence, because they have influence, and we live in a society now where we've seen a lot of people have blamed rap music on things that happen in the community. But Young Dro even said it this morning. He was like, there is some parts that you can blame for that, but in a lot of ways, rapping sometimes is just fiction. So that's that. You can't always put the blame on that, because it starts at home as well.
Fiction, and they are rapping about their lives, what they know. So it's either some might be escalated just for the rap factor, but they're not necessarily encouraging violence or talking about what they are going through. But one thing I think that I took away from him coming was saying that because he was in that lifestyle and he was shot at 15, I asked him, I was like, hey, do you think that a youth town hall, does that do any help? And
he said, the answer.
He said for him, he wishes he had something like that when he was a kid. He wishes someone would have reached out. So hey, if you know somebody who is going through this right now, whether they're a parent of someone or a kid who is, kind of going down that wrong path, they may just be waiting on you to tap them and grab them and put them on the right direction. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox, but that's what we learned today.
That'll be the place to be. All right, so another story that we have to talk to you about, and I've got to see if we've got that video that has come in through our system this morning, but we're talking about medical marijuana, and this is really a huge milestone for patients who've needed access for some time now. Companies tap to grow and dispense medical marijuana right here in Georgia, here in the state. Now, this is a controversial topic. People have got their thoughts about this, but it is important to note that we're talking medical cannabis, not necessarily recreational, where you're just out there doing what you want to do, because I think that's important. You might remember that it was 7 years ago when it became legal in Georgia for certain patients who have a state-issued registry card for them to possess this low THC cannabis oil.
Correct. So the problem is they could not buy the oil in Georgia, and their caregivers could not buy the oil in Georgia. So they were kind of stuck. So that meant that patients or their families would have to cross state lines to go get the oil, but that is against federal law. So you can see, rock hard place. So a few years later, Georgia did make growing marijuana specifically for this oil legal. but it's just taken a long time to sort out the logistics. Who gets to grow it? How do they get to grow it? Where are they growing it? And so that's problematic when you are a father, like the person we talked to who has a son who needs this. He said that he has had to essentially break the law to do what he had to do as a father to get his son, the medicine he needed.
The medicine they need. We can't tell you that there is one store that's out in Marietta that is almost ready to open its medical office complex. This is on Cobb Parkway. We've got more information about this on AtlantaNewsFirst.com and, of course, on our free app. But they're not allowed to open just yet.
Right.
If they get those locations approved, we're talking springtime, which is just right around the corner. So that could be a big game changer for many of you here in our area.
Yep. All right. So our next story. Okay, this is one I have been following myself because this is just so crazy to me. It seems like classified documents are just being discovered everywhere these days. Do you have classified documents at your house?
I mean, not that I know. I would probably be surprised like a lot of the people who have them right now, you know? I'm serious.
The National Archives actually says it's considering sending letters to former presidents and vice presidents like Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Obama to make sure they don't have any classified documents because Joe Biden had documents discovered at his house. Then Mike Pence had documents discovered at his house. Of course, this all comes after former President Trump had documents discovered at his house. So it's like, how easy is it really to accidentally take home classified documents?
Yeah, there has been a lot of questions stemming around this. Now, the FBI, they're working right now alongside U.S. intelligence agencies, really trying to assess these situations, the documents themselves. But you've got a lot of lawmakers right now. We're talking both parties.
Right.
You know, some may call it petty, but really just upset about the whole situation and kind of going tit for tat. But we can tell you that President Biden's, those classified documents are from his time as vice president. Right. It's important to note that, and of course, Mike Pence also in that list as well. So of course, that's one we'll be staying on top of because, yeah, it seems like everybody is getting caught with something right now. Not a good look at all. Okay, so here's something that I know folks are looking forward to.
Yes.
I don't know what it is about this place.
Me either.
But people love it. You know, here in the South, we love ourselves some Chick-fil-A, right?
Yes, we do.
But we gotta talk about Whataburger. And this is how you know if somebody really knows what Whataburger is, if they say Whataburger or
I was literally
Whataburger.
just trying to see if you were saying
You're trying to get to how I was doing it.
Because I thought it was Whataburger, just what a burger.
And technically that's what it is. But the average person said Whataburger, like Whataburger. That's just how you say it. That's how it comes out.
Okay, moral of the story, y'all. There's another one opening up here in our area. This one's coming to Woodstock. You're looking at the Atlanta News First chopper doing really important journalistic work right now, flying over the Whataburger that's in Woodstock.
And you know what's so crazy about this? That we're talking 11 o'clock when this spot is going to open.
Yes.
Expected to see some form of a line out there because I don't know if you guys remember when that one opened in Kennesaw.
Yes.
There were people lined up at 4 in the morning waiting on this thing to open.
Yeah.
So we can tell you Woodstock police already say that they're expecting backup. So on Highway 92, this is near Indian Valley Drive. If you're going to be in that area, make sure you know how to get around that area because you're going to need to on a day like this. The folks are going to be lined up.
Now, I will say, we were out there live this morning. I didn't see
Nobody
any
was
cars.
there. Nobody was there. And that was 7 o'clock. I think we had a live picture out there about 7 o'clock. Nobody was out there.
Right. So maybe you have better luck this time
Y'all might
around.
get lucky. Or maybe people just didn't know yet. That's why we're telling you. So that you know it's out there in case you want to get yourself some Whataburger.
Okay, this last story it probably connects more with your college self. At least it does for me.
Okay.
Fireball Cinnamon Whiskey is facing a massive lawsuit right now. We want to pull up a picture for you so you know exactly what we're talking about. Boom, there it is.
All right.
Okay, so it has to do with their mini bottles like you see in this man's hand. The label on the normal bottles say whiskey with natural cinnamon flavor, but the smaller bottles have no mention of whiskey.
Okay, so you're probably saying, oh, what exactly does that really mean? Well, that's because those little bottles were made with whiskey-flavored malt instead. So not the real deal. I wouldn't necessarily call it a knockoff, but I mean, it's flavor. It's flavor, you know what I mean? So this lawsuit claims that the company is trying to mislead its customers. Customers are not happy about it, and they're gonna want some money after this. Or maybe at least some real Fireball.
Well, I certainly would have thought that the smaller version of a Fireball bottle would also be Fireball whiskey as well.
Everybody does. If you think it's just a little shot of it, you're just like,
Right.
this is the same thing that the big bottles have, right? You're not thinking there's something different. And why would anybody want flavored anything if you want the real whiskey? I don't want whiskey flavor, right?
Right. First
You
of
want
all,
the
I
real
don't
thing.
love whiskey flavor enough to want a whiskey flavor without the
that's
whiskey
first.
benefits.
Yeah.
Is it still alcohol? It's still alcoholic though.
It would have to be.
It would have to be. Or
But
else
I
y'all
wondered,
really playing around.
wondered if it's more of a watered down alcohol. I'm not sure exactly how that works. Not a big whiskey person myself, but I wonder that would really pose a question because if people are saying they're expecting to have the body feeling some kind of way after a couple of these little bottles and nothing happens, that could have led them to this place where they're saying something about this just isn't right.
Yeah, but you know what? Good Fireball does on a good day. Ooh, it'll warm you up.
Is that what it'll do?
That's what it'll do. I honestly, I enjoy a nice little beverage when I'm trying to warm up after work. You know, weather's cold.
Yeah.
And it is so cold today. Ella Dorsey is in the building. You have a treat today. Now, everybody loves Courtney Jacobazzi, but you have the one and only Ella Dorsey here today.
You know what?
I gave you a little theme song, okay? I gave you a little theme song, Ella.
I need that mic from you. Thank you, sir.
There you are. All right, so we're going to get out of the way. Miss Ella Dorsey going to take over here.
Yes.
Ella, when we're looking at this live picture right here over
It looks gloomy.
over the city, it is, but thankfully no rain today.
No rain today, no rain for the next 3 days. Brooks, do you have a yard?
No, I do not.
Oh, thank God. Neither do I.
Yeah.
Because you ain't been getting no yard work done. Nobody has, right? You're going to be able to get some yard work done over the next 3 days with these dry conditions. So let me step in here. Good morning, everybody. Were you turned into Atlanta News first? Look at my mic.
So let's get that mic.
That mic going crazy. Did you guys see Young Jock today on Peachtree TV?
Young Dro was in
Young
the
Dro.
building.
Jesus.
See, it's a lot of youngs and a
It's
lot
of
of
youngs.
littles and a lot
Shoulder
of
lean. We were
babies,
shoulder
yeah.
leaning on the show today.
This the motorcycle. You got to do the shoulder lean. The shoulder lean is the. I don't know. Can they see us up there?
I think you're wrong.
Shoulder lean.
What?
And then this is the motorcycle.
That shoulder. I've never seen a shoulder
Young
lean
Dro
dance.
hit it on the shoulder. I'm just saying.
This
All right,
was
now
a
get
shoulder
out the
lean?
way. Take over, Ella.
I've never seen this dance in my life, Brooks. I don't know. This feels weird. This feels a little weird. Anyways, we had Young Dro on our show this morning. It was really exciting. So let's talk about your forecast, shall we? Good morning to you. I'm going to tune you into current temperatures. It was 38 degrees was our low this morning. So since sunrise about 3 hours ago, we've only seen temperatures climb by like 3 degrees. It's still cold in Blairsville. It's still cold in Carrollton, 38 degrees. And then you add the wind to it. Yeah, it feels really chilly out there. Temperatures are anywhere from 7 degrees colder than yesterday in Lawrenceville to 16 degrees colder than yesterday in Atlanta to 20 degrees colder than yesterday in LaGrange. So you can feel that. We're still seeing that thick cloud cover. Let me show you their camera again. Here's those thick clouds. Our current first alert radar showing some of those clouds right over Metro Atlanta, still pretty thick up in North Georgia. Lots of sunshine down towards Lake Oconee over in Athens. If you are still seeing clouds where you are, those clouds will hang around for the next few hours. Taking you hour by hour, we will see partial clearing skies through the afternoon, but it's going to stay cold, guys. Look, your temperatures are going to be in the 40s through the entire afternoon. It's also going to be really, really breezy. So today, breezy and cold. We're going to continue to see sunny and chilly conditions on Friday, and the weekend looks dry. So if you're trying to get some yard work done, Friday into the weekend is going to be the day to do it. Honestly, I can be completely honest with you here right now. Today, I would not want to spend much time outside. Look at the wind. It's picked up. It's now at 14 miles per hour. So that is making your feels like temperatures in the low 30s. It's really chilly out there today. It's going to be chilly for quite a while. Here's your current wind speeds. You can see they're coming out of the north at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Those wind speeds are actually going to pick up a little bit. So this is a breeze, bringing in that cold air behind the front that brought us the rain yesterday. That wind will be in place through the day. So mostly cloudy, windy, and cold. Want to note that the sun is now setting past 6 p.m. We are one of the only places that sees these late sunsets as early as January. So be thankful for that. Now tonight, it stays breezy and cold. We're going to see clearing skies overnight. Morning lows will be below freezing tomorrow. Most areas will actually bottom out in the 20s, so you'll definitely need to grab the winter coat as you step out the door tomorrow. But tomorrow is actually going to be really nice. 50 degrees. It'll be mostly sunny, a little bit cooler, but it won't be as bad as it is outside today. So a pleasant end to the week. Looking ahead, again, your feels like temperatures stay in the 30s and 20s. Tomorrow we climb into the 40s. So it's going to be okay outside. We are going to see these skies clear out. And then as we head into Friday, lots of sunshine to end the week. Our next chance for rain will arrive on Sunday, okay? So Saturday we have increasing clouds. Temperatures will be in the mid-50s. By Sunday, we do have a first alert for the rain. Right now, it looks like before 2 p.m. it will be dry. Rain starts to spread in through the evening. Light rain is likely, especially south of the city on Sunday, before 4 p.m. So this is just a first alert to let you know by Sunday late afternoon, early evening, I would be wrapping up your outdoor plans. As we head into next week, we get into a much wetter pattern. We stay in that wet pattern throughout the entire week, not expecting any severe weather. And it'll be mild, so no winter weather either. But we're gonna be in a very wet pattern through the majority of the first half of February. So you're gonna wanna make those outdoor plans for the first half of the weekend. Just know it will get milder. Get the yard work done over the next couple days, because by Sunday, that's when that wet pattern takes back over. And of course, we'll really be able to nail down more on the timing of Sunday's rain by tomorrow at this time. And we will bring you that on Atlanta News First, so you can tune in then 4:30 to 7, 9 to 10, and we are on Peachtree TV every morning from 7 to 9, okay? Hope to see you guys then. All right, have a good day.